Picture this, a young girl sitting on the street, tears streaming down her face, holding a torn scholarship letter in her hands. Her dreams of studying abroad, completely destroyed by the one person who was supposed to protect her. But what happens next will shock you to your core. This is the story of how a mother-in-law's greed led to her own downfall, and how a daughter fought back in the most unexpected way. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll understand why they say real women fight their own battles. If you're someone who believes in justice and standing up for what's right, you're going to love this story. So grab your tea, get comfortable, and let me tell you about Lisa and her fight for justice. Let me start from the beginning. Lisa was a brilliant 22-year-old girl from America who had just received a full scholarship to study engineering in Germany. Her father had passed away when she was 16, and her mother worked day and night as a seamstress to support their small family. When Lisa got that scholarship letter, it felt like all their struggles were finally worth it. Her mother cried tears of joy that day, hugging the letter like it was made of gold. But here's where things took a dark turn. Lisa's mother had recently remarried a man named Rajesh, thinking her daughter needed a father figure in her life. What she didn't know was that Rajesh's mother, who lived with them, had very different plans for Lisa. This mother-in-law, let's call her Mrs. Beast, saw Lisa not as a daughter but as a source of income. She had been secretly planning to get Lisa married to her brother's son, who would pay a hefty sum for a well-educated bride. The scholarship was ruining her plans completely. So one evening, when Lisa came home from her part-time job, she found her mother sitting in the corner, looking defeated. Mrs. Beast was standing there with a smug smile, holding pieces of torn paper. Those pieces were Lisa's scholarship documents, acceptance letter, and passport application. "Your dreams of going abroad are over," Mrs. Beast announced coldly. "Girls from good families don't go to foreign countries alone. We've already spoken to the Agarwal family about your marriage." Lisa's world came crashing down in that moment. Her mother tried to speak up, but Mrs. Beast quickly silenced her. "This is my house now, and my son's wife will follow my decisions," she declared. That night, Lisa sat on the street outside her building, crying and holding the torn pieces of her future. She felt helpless, angry, and completely betrayed. But sometimes, the darkest moments create the strongest people. As Lisa sat there, she made a decision that would change everything. She wasn't going to let anyone destroy her dreams without a fight. The next morning, Lisa started her plan. She knew she couldn't confront Mrs. Beast directly, the woman had too much control over her mother. So she decided to dig deeper and find out what Mrs. Beast was really up to. Lisa started by observing her step-grandmother's daily routine. She noticed that Mrs. Beast received a lot of phone calls and often spoke in hushed tones. She also saw her counting money and hiding it in her room. One day, while cleaning Mrs. Beast's room, Lisa discovered something shocking. Hidden beneath old saris was a small notebook filled with names, amounts, and dates. As Lisa read through it, her blood ran cold. Mrs. Beast had been running an illegal marriage brokering business for years. She would identify young educated girls from vulnerable families and arrange their marriages for money. The notebook had details of at least 15 girls whose lives had been sold for cash. Some entries even mentioned how she had destroyed their job offers or college admissions to make them more suitable for marriage. But the most shocking discovery was yet to come. Lisa found a marriage certificate hidden in the same place. It was her mother's marriage certificate to Rajesh, but something was wrong with it. The date on the certificate was from 2 years ago, not 6 months ago, as her mother believed. This meant her mother had been living in an illegal relationship without knowing it. Mrs. Beast had been lying to both of them about the legal status of the marriage. Lisa realized this was her mother-in-law's way of maintaining complete control over her mother. If her mother ever tried to rebel, Mrs. Beast could threaten to expose the illegal relationship. Now Lisa knew she was dealing with someone truly manipulative and dangerous. She took photos of everything and started planning her next move. Lisa knew she needed help, but she couldn't trust anyone in her immediate circle. So she reached out to her college friend Emma, who worked at a legal aid organization. When Emma heard the whole story, she was furious. "This woman is not just destroying your life, Lisa. She's running a criminal operation," Emma said. Together, they started building a case against Mrs. Beast. Emma introduced Lisa to a lawyer who specialized in women's rights cases. The lawyer, Ms. Messi, explained that what Mrs. Beast was doing was illegal on multiple levels. Marriage brokering for money, document destruction, fraud, these were serious crimes. But they needed more evidence to build a strong case. Ms. Messi suggested that Lisa try to record Mrs. Beast's conversations about the marriage brokering business. This was risky, but Lisa was determined to expose the truth. She started leaving her phone's voice recorder on whenever Mrs. Beast made her business calls. Day after day, Lisa collected evidence. She recorded conversations where Mrs. Beast discussed rates for different girls. She heard her step-grandmother talking about how she would break girls who showed too much independence. The most disturbing recording was when Mrs. Beast was talking to someone about using slow poison to make rebellious girls sick and weak. When they're always feeling unwell, they stop fighting and become obedient, Mrs. Beast had said with a laugh. This explained why Lisa's mother had been feeling constantly tired and weak since the marriage. Lisa realized her mother was being slowly poisoned to keep her submissive. She immediately took her mother to a doctor for blood tests. The results confirmed her worst fears. Her mother had high levels of certain substances that shouldn't be in her system. The doctor said if this continued, it could cause permanent damage to her mother's health. Now Lisa knew she couldn't wait any longer. Armed with all her evidence, Lisa and her legal team prepared to take action. But they needed to be smart about it. Ms. Messy suggested they use Mrs. Beast's own greed against her. They would set up a situation where she would confess to everything. Emma's aunt, who worked as a marriage consultant, agreed to help them. She would approach Mrs. Beast pretending to be a wealthy client looking for brides for her family. The plan was to make Mrs. Beast feel comfortable enough to reveal her entire operation. They would record this conversation and use it as the final piece of evidence. On the decided day, Emma's aunt, dressed elegantly, visited Mrs. Beast. Lisa hid in the next room with recording equipment. "I've heard you're very good at arranging suitable marriages," Emma's aunt began. Mrs. Beast's eyes lit up with greed. "Oh yes, I've been doing this for years. I have a special method," she boasted. "Special method?" Emma's aunt asked, playing innocent. "You see, these modern girls have too many dreams. They want careers, independence, all nonsense," Mrs. Beast explained. "So what I do is, I identify their weak points and destroy them slowly." She went on to describe in detail how she destroyed documents, manipulated families, and even used substances to make girls weak and compliant. "Just last month, I stopped my own daughter-in-law's girl from going abroad. Tore up all her papers," she laughed. "And I've been giving her mother small doses of medicine to keep her calm and obedient." "Medicine?" Emma's aunt pressed. "Oh, just some herbs that make them tired and confused. Nothing serious, but it keeps them from causing trouble." Mrs. Beast was so confident and greedy that she revealed everything. She even showed the notebook with details of all the girls whose lives she had controlled. "Each successful marriage gets me at least 2 lakh rupees, she bragged. "These families are so desperate to get rid of their daughters, they pay whatever I ask." The entire conversation was being recorded clearly. Lisa had everything she needed now. The next day, Ms. Messy filed a comprehensive case against Mrs. Beast. The charges included fraud, document destruction, running an illegal marriage brokering business, and attempted poisoning. The local police were informed, and they arrived at the house with a warrant. Mrs. Beast was completely shocked when the police showed up. "There must be some mistake," she kept saying. But when the police played back her own recorded confession, her face went pale. In that recording, her voice was clear as she described her illegal activities and admitted to poisoning Lisa's mother. "I've been giving her mother small doses of medicine to keep her calm and obedient," her own voice played back. The police immediately arrested her and seized all her illegal records. Lisa's mother was taken to the hospital for proper treatment to remove the toxins from her system. As Mrs. Beast was being taken away, she looked at Lisa with pure hatred. "You think you've won? You've destroyed your own family," she screamed. But Lisa looked her straight in the eye and said, "I've saved my family from you." The court proceedings moved quickly because the evidence was overwhelming. Mrs. Beast's recorded confession was played in court, leaving no room for denial. The judge was particularly harsh because this involved crimes against multiple women and families. Mrs. Beast was sentenced to 5 years in prison and ordered to pay compensation to all the families she had wronged. But the best part was yet to come. During the legal proceedings, Ms. Messy had also helped Lisa apply for an emergency scholarship program. When the scholarship committee heard about Lisa's story and saw her original academic records, they were impressed by her determination. Not only did they restore her original scholarship, but they also provided additional support for her housing and living expenses. On the day Mrs. Beast was sentenced, Ms. Messy handed Lisa an envelope. Inside was a flight ticket to Germany and a letter from the university welcoming her to the program. Lisa's mother, who was now recovering well after proper medical treatment, cried tears of joy. "Beta, you not only saved us but also saved so many other girls from that evil woman," she said. The other families who had been victims of Mrs. Beast's schemes also reached out to thank Lisa. Some of their daughters were now able to pursue the careers they had been forced to give up. As Lisa packed her bags for Germany, she reflected on everything that had happened. She had learned that sometimes the people who seem most powerless can become the strongest when they decide to fight back. She had also learned that justice might take time, but it does come to those who don't give up. Before leaving for the airport, Lisa visited the street where she had cried that night holding her torn scholarship papers. She sat in the same spot, but this time she was holding her flight ticket and smiling. "Thank you for teaching me to fight," she whispered to her younger self. At the airport, as Lisa was about to board her flight, she received a message from Ms. Messi. Two more girls have come forward with evidence against similar marriage brokers. Your case has inspired them to speak up. Lisa smiled, knowing that her fight had created a ripple effect. She was not just flying to Germany to pursue her dreams, she was flying as a symbol of hope for other girls facing similar situations. This story teaches us something very important about life and justice. Sometimes the worst situations bring out the best in us. Lisa could have accepted her fate and given up on her dreams. Instead, she chose to investigate, gather evidence, and fight back intelligently. She didn't just save herself, she saved her mother and countless other girls from a predatory system. The most important lesson here is that real strength doesn't come from others, it comes from within. As they say in Hindi, asal aurat wo hai jo apni ladi khud khaladi hai, real women wield their own sticks. This means real women don't wait for others to fight their battles, they take charge of their own lives. If you're facing a difficult situation right now, remember Lisa's story. Sometimes the solution isn't to fight harder, it's to fight smarter. Gather your evidence, find the right allies, and use the system to get justice. What did you think of Lisa's approach to handling the situation? Have you ever had to stand up against someone who seemed too powerful to challenge? Share your thoughts in the comments below, I read every single one of them. If this story inspired you, please hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe because I share more real-life stories of courage and justice every week. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and you have the power to change your own story. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.